Ashok Mittal, he's country head rather, retail, MK Global Financial Services, and he joins us live on the show. Ashok, hi, welcome. Let's start with gold and silver first. Last week was a phenomenal gain that we saw. This week there is some profit taking. How have you read the prices, and would you say that the current levels perhaps are good for buying yet again?
Hi Manisha. No, I think what has happened, we have seen a lot of buying happening because the prices are too low, and now technically we are into overbought zone, and we were expecting some profit booking to happen. And at the same time, fundamentally, we are not really seeing changes where people will invest in gold either for investment purpose or for the purpose of consumption. So there has been a lot of restriction in India as well. So I think this scenario of prices coming on may continue for a few more sessions. I think on international market we should expect around say 1320, 1330 levels in gold in days to come. Similarly in rupee terms, I think 31,000 is quite a strong resistance level now, and we should target around 30,000 rupees on gold prices in India on MCX. Similarly, I think silver also should face resistance, and since it has not really been able to sustain above say 51,000 rupees, we will expect this comeback somewhere around say 47,000, 48,000 rupees in the next few sessions. So I think we should wait before we look for buying in both gold and silver for some time.
Ashok, what's your sense coming in for the energy space now? Because while the month of July has been very positive, 8.8% of gains, August started on that note as well. There are supply concerns still coming in from Libya, Iraq, Egypt, all of that. There is decline in the US inventories as well, lowest since the month of January. Would you say that the decline that we have seen in the markets in the last 24 hours again has to do with the Fed minutes?
In fact, yes, for all the commodity prices, whether they are bullions, base metals or energy, the eyes are on Fed, what they will say, and everything will depend how QE tapering news comes. In fact, more than news comes before that, what markets start expecting out of the news will be the driving factor for all these commodities. Crude, if you look, I think broadly should be between 100 to 110 level, and if you narrow down maybe 103 to 108. So from that perspective, we are on the higher side in the band. So we will expect that you sell on any kind of upticks which you see in the next say few sessions or even by today. Obviously tomorrow's inventory data will give further direction, but then sell, and then we expect prices to fall somewhere around say 104, 105 level. So you will have another $3-4 downside as long as you're above say $100 on NYMEX crude oil. Secondly, which we spoke earlier also, the spread between NYMEX crude oil and Brent crude oil, which has gone to close to zero, is again now starting building up. So I think this spread can go around $6-7. So if you do spread buying Brent crude oil and selling NYMEX, that also a strategy which you can do now also. I think in terms of broad price range, crude oil will be range bound, but right now for the next few sessions the expectation will be on the lower side. For all commodities, the dollar rupee also will be very important, because now you are at a level where you will be really scared to buy dollar rupee. So I think that need to be taken care, and not really being overly bullish on dollar rupee. So some kind of a correction we can happen, which may be sudden, the way we have seen gold and silver prices correcting today. So if that happens, then all the calculations will go different, even if you are tracking on the international market. But net, I don't feel that we should be long on commodities right now for next few sessions.
Fair point. You mentioned about the rupee, Ashok. What's your sense coming in for that? Because 64.13 is an all-time low that we saw the currency touch in the markets today. Of course, there has been an intervention, and that's the reason you have seen some improvement coming in. What kind of levels are you working with?
See, I think if you go at levels, we might expect say 65 on the higher side. But I will think that since RBI is intervening, a lot of steps are being taken, and those steps will start resulting in the near future. So we might expect dollar rupee going back to say close to say 62 rupees. So I am not thinking that this is the level where we should be actually buying dollar rupee for a smaller profit. So your risk reward ratio may be better to play from the short side. But whatever position you take in rupee, you have to be very careful, because the volatility is very, very high. So it's better we keep some tight stop loss whenever you are going long or short.
Fair point. Ashok, while you have mentioned that you wouldn't want to be long in most of those commodities given the kind of situation we are in, but what's your sense coming in for the base metal prices? Because previous week was very bullish. Would you say that perhaps the metals had run too much too soon, and that's the reason we are looking at the decline that we are?
In fact, all commodities, bullions and base metals also had moved very fast, and that movement was fast because when we had seen the lower side correction happen, say sometime back, that was too sharp a correction. So a pullback was definitely expected on that side. Secondly, we also saw very sharp depreciation happening on rupee. So two things were working together on that. So now if you look at technically, it will look that we are in the overbought zone and hence you should go short or book your profits. So what is happening at these levels? 2-3 things. Number one, the people who are long, they are booking their profits. Those who thought that these are the very good levels to sell, because we have seen levels which are far lower than the current levels. So it looks like you can see downside pullback happening because of that. Then you go short, and you are not seeing economic activities happening or industrial activities happening, or there is demand coming from China for base metals which will drive the prices higher. So considering those things, I think it makes sense to go short on base metal as well right now. So I think we are around say 7,300, 7,400 on LME is a good level in fact, because we have seen below 7,000 also on LME copper. So if you are going short and expect around say 7,000 to be a support also, then still you have another $300, $400 downside possible on copper prices as well. And we are not really seeing great activities happening on industrial side. So I think it really doesn't make sense to buy at these high levels currently. So either you go short, or if you really want to go long, then you have to wait for some time.
Let's get in views from Kumar on this commodity strategies.
In case of gold, one can go for buying it somewhere around 30,016 ranges, which stops below 30,430 ranges. On the higher side, initially we are expecting the market to test around 31,200 ranges, and as it consistently trades beyond 31,200 ranges, probably it will test the lifetime high of around 32,300 ranges. Crude, also one should go for buying it somewhere around 6750 ranges, which stops below 6650 ranges. On the higher side, we are expecting the market to appreciate to an extent of around 7,000 ranges in case of MCX crude. In case of copper, I think one should be on the buy side, maybe at 460 ranges, which stops below 458 ranges. We are expecting the prices to appreciate to an extent of around 475 ranges, and maybe beyond that also to an extent of around 482 ranges.
Let's get in then Vandana Bharti from SMC, and she joins us on the show with her strategies on all of those commodities. Vandana, hi, welcome. Let's start with crude first. And what's your sense coming in for the prices? Because the last month has been good. 8.8% of gains. Previous week saw 4% of gains in the crude prices. How are you looking at these current prices?
Yeah, Manisha, I'm expecting that crude prices will move up this week as well, because driving season is still on in US, and it will continue till the first week of September. And moreover, we are expecting that last week we can see some cut down in inventories of US, and these two factors are major trigger for crude oil. So I'm expecting an upside, and we can see we are witnessing a correction in the prices of crude oil, and this is a good time to go for buy in this commodity. My target for Indian market would be of 6875 with a stop loss of here 6775.
Vandana, how are you looking at the gold prices? Ahead of the festive season, we did see a very strong run-up coming into the prices. The spot premiums are high. The demand has gone on the higher side as well. And of course, the government import curbs is something that is creating panic in the mind of buyers here.
Yes, but we have already seen a very good jump in the physical buying of bars and coins and jewelry and gold prices in gold. And from here, I'm expecting a range bound with upside trend in gold prices, because this is miracle of rupee only which is keeping gold upside in Indian market. For international market, yes, here $1,400 is a very good resistance, and for support it is $1,330 in US market. For Indian market, I'm expecting an upside of around 31,500 for this commodity. So any correction is a very good buying opportunity for this commodity, because I'm not expecting that rupee will going to appreciate near the level of 62.50 or 62, and the downside will continue till the level of 65. So till the time rupee is going down, there is a good buying opportunity for gold in Indian market.